Hello everyone and welcome to Community Distance Reiki. I'm Danielle Stimpson of Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you are new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. And if you're watching this on the replay, know that you are guaranteed just as fun and healing a time as if you were here live. If you would like to join me live, I'm here 5 times a week, same days, same times, all of which are listed in the description below. You can also subscribe with notifications on. I do sometimes hop on with added special streams based around world events and astrological movements. If you are here live with us today, I'm so glad to have you. Feel free to go ahead and click that live chat button and type in any requests that you have for healing, whether it's something really general, really specific. The first half hour of our time together will be spent building a beautiful crystal grid to the request of everyone that is here with us. After we build that crystal grid together, I'll briefly explain what Reiki is, a little bit of what to expect, and then I will turn down the lights, turn up the music, and send healing to you whenever and wherever you happen to be. If you are interested in my online Reiki classes or my social media, my Discord or Crystal Shop, that's also linked in the description below. Thank you so much for being here today. It is an honor and a pleasure. And let's go ahead and dive into that chat and see what requests we have. So welcome in everyone. Already so many requests. Good to have you all. Let's see what we've got. Oh, wonderful. Oh, and new folks too. Hello, Grace, Cora Carr, Brindley, nice to meet you. Awesome. So we've got some intentions. I had someone message me with an intention as well. You can always do that. You can message it to me through social media or through emailing me through the website, and I'll be more than happy to place it into the grid. So we've got some requests around just the state of the world, some balancing, some support, and some support with mental health and recovering from addiction. So we'll definitely integrate that into our grid as well. And hey, Jennifer, JS, good to see you again. Good to see everybody. Okay, cool. So let's dive right into the grid. Just bear with me while I transition our screens. Adjust our sound just slightly. Ta-da! Here we are. So in the center, you'll see a beautiful copper spiral. Copper tends to help move energy at a more efficient pace. It also helps to break up blockages, and of course, it's beautiful. So we tend to integrate it into pretty much every one of our grids in different ways. And let's see. Oh, Vincent, welcome in. It's good to see you again. I hope you are doing well. So let's go ahead. So we'll start with the request that I got. The request that I got for help with mental health, feeling overwhelmed, as well as recovering from addiction. A great stone for a lot of that. One is amethyst, so one that most of you will be familiar with, and another is lepidolite, which is a little less known, and I'll explain both. So just bear with me while I grab them. And feel free to request generally, specifically, if there's a very specific stone you want to work with, that's fine, or I'm happy to custom select some stones for you. And so right here we have some amethyst. This is absolutely one of the, it's probably the par excellence stone for anything having to do with addiction and recovery from any number of substances and even compulsions as well. Amethyst helps us to, in very much the serenity prayer sense, take ownership and responsibility for what is ours and not take on ownership and responsibility for what is someone else's. It also helps us to see things in more manageable terms. The concept of one day at a time or one step at a time. This is a very spiritual stone that helps to connect you to a sense of higher purpose, whatever that helps you, whatever way you see that, sense that, or understand that. So we're going to definitely bring in some amethyst. Lepidolite is actually lithium mica, yes, lithium. Lithium, like the mental health medication. This is definitely one of the stones. I never suggest putting stones in water and drinking the water. I know enough about earth science and I know enough about the crystal industry. I never do that. At the same time, if you do, this is definitely a stone not to do that with. Lithium is absolutely used medicinally. It has been used medicinally since at least the 1940s. It absolutely has different effects on mental health. And that being said, sometimes it's very helpful and sometimes it's very not. As a spiritual and etheric and natural substance, as a crystal to work with energetically, it's a very loving, supportive, mood boosting stone that can help you to mentally calm and relax and feel a bit more even keel, a bit more optimistic. So it's wonderful for that. These particular specimens, this one is super lucky because not only does it have the lithium mica and some, you'll notice matrix stone, but it also has some incredible Amazonite in there as well. Amazonite is a fantastic stone for so many reasons. It's one that can help you to make peace with transitions. It's one that can help you to move more spiritually through different things that are going on, letting go of things that no longer serve, filling in the cracks of a broken heart. It's really one of the most excellent stones that we can have. So having these beautiful specimens that have more than one crystal in them, absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to bring them in. Next we have, oh, I'm so happy, let's see. Varsha, welcome in. Susan, welcome back. Oh, it's good to see everybody. Everybody making friends in the chat. I love this community. You guys are great. So excited when it's time to go live. Intention, weight loss, immune system, balance, road opening, crown of success, and money flow. Oh yes, and it is a new moon. It is an excellent new moon for manifesting, especially when it's like something we've been working for a while. Absolutely. Yeah, new moon in Leo was yesterday. Some of the astrological influences at play, in case you can't feel it. I'm sure you can. Let's see, weight loss, immune system. We've got all the things. Immune system for sure. We've got mookaite, which is one we've been working with a lot lately. Not only does it help with balancing systems and balancing us in general, as a jasper, it can be very, very earthy and grounding, but it's also excellent for helping to find balance in making decisions, following your spiritual purpose. Can be helpful to some extent with things like weight loss, and definitely with immune system. It's thought to be very helpful for that. Let's see what else we have here. So if anybody's looking for help with making decisions on this new moon, and I think that that's going to be a theme astrologically for the next 2 weeks at least, given some other influences, that's a great stone to have around. I think that's why we've been working with it so much. Let's see if I can find my iolite. I've been very busy this week, I'm glad to say, so I'm just a little bit more disorganized than my Capricorn self would like to be, but you know, life is what happens when we're making other plans, isn't it? Iolite can be incredible for weight loss, also fever, money managing. So if you're looking to manifest that money, it helps if we know how to best apply it and where to leave it, how to work with it best, and also intuition, intuitive sleep disturbances, and connecting with our guides. So some iolite there. Thank you, iolite. Money flow. Let's see some citrine come out for that. I know around the new moon, we're all manifesting stuff. We're all asking the universe for what we need to move forward in our lives. Citrine is a very common staple to help us call in, especially resources in the finance department. This is one that you can put in the back left corner of your room or business or home, your office, that the back left corner is if you are standing in the doorway walking in, is the feng shui corner for financial success. So you can put that there, or just anywhere that you associate with financial success or even with manifesting. You can put that there. You can also put it like in your money drawer or wherever you sit to do your accounting, anything like that. Any place that you associate with finances and wealth. And crown of success, road opening. I think calling in opportunities, we'll use the, we'll call upon that with the, we'll call upon that with the citrine as well. Let's see what else we have to work with today. So who else are we supporting? JS, intention for unpacking discipline and learning how to show up for yourself with caring, discipline, and dedication, as well as throat chakra healing. I love that. I absolutely love that. Discipline, how to show up for yourself with caring, discipline, and dedication. That is so perfectly worded. Absolutely love that. So let's go ahead and find the perfect stone for that. So discipline. Gotcha. Discipline, honestly, the first thing that comes to mind is garnet. So I think I'm going to go with the first gut instinct. Garnet, absolutely. Very much the executive function kind of crystal. It's a very Capricorn stone. So this has to do with like management, organization, but also to a great extent sticking to the plan, because it makes it easier to stick to a plan, because it helps you to keep in mind what the end goal of all these steps is. So that's how it can support that in a way, that accountability. It's, you've got in the back of your mind that, okay, I really don't want to do this task, but at the same time, it gets me closer to my goal that really means something to me. So this can be very helpful and support that. I'm going to put that here with our citrine. And also I feel like some ruby is called for. Ruby is all about leadership, as well as making plans, very high level thinking and seeing and acting, embodying all things that are what one would think of as managerial, which is definitely sticking to the plan, as well as potentially chrysoprase. chrysoprase is excellent for follow through and completing goals. It also helps to support you in those ways, like those days when you're like, I just feel like I can't do it. I feel like I'm having setbacks. I'm struggling with this idea of being able to do this. It helps us to take a moment to gain perspective on how far we've come so that we can feel a bit of a self-respect and self-love from that, which ultimately makes it easier to keep going. If it seems like we're continually just marching down a path to get something done and it seems a million miles away, it gets really daunting to continue on. This is a stone that helps you remind yourself and celebrate the small victories along the way, making it a lot easier to stick to what you're doing. So let's definitely go ahead with some chrysoprase. It's also great at overcoming disappointment. So if you have any disappointments along the way, if you've fallen behind, if you feel like, oh, I wish I had done it this way instead of that, and now I need to almost start over, or I've set myself back, this can help you to put that aside and continue on your goal. So I hope that helps. Also, throat chakra. We will definitely work on that too. Got an idea for that. Paresthesia and working for inpatient rehab for mobility learning. Absolutely. I can absolutely help with that. All the best to you in your rehab journey. I've done that too. I walk on arm crutches. I know, like, physical therapy and rehab is not easy. So good on you for sticking to it. The chrysoprase will help you on that too. Definitely a great stone to aid in mobility, and one that I work with a lot in that regard is blue kyanite. This is great for any kind of neuro care or mobility care, and also for understanding the intuitive messages that we get. So if somebody's going through something that is any kind of rehab related to neuro, specifically, things like speech therapy as well, but it's excellent for physical mobility, even if it's not connected to the neurological system. Blue kyanite. It's also one of radical self-acceptance, and sometimes that is not something we think of as being super important at that time, but it is incredibly important at that time. Like, accepting yourself exactly as you are is radically helpful when we're going through something like physical therapy. So yeah, blue kyanite for sure, and all the best to you on your path. I know it's not an easy one, but it's a super fruitful one. We learn strengths that we didn't even know we had, and I wish you all the best in your journey. There we go. Blue kyanite for the win. And we've got, let's see, digestion and body discomfort. Gotcha. Digestion and, let's see, digestion to a point, mookaite can help. But the first thing that jumped to mind was black obsidian. One of the other requests that came in before the stream was about energy boundaries as well. This can be a great stone for helping people who might be empathic or taking on other people's energy, as well as anyone who's working through themes of grief, if you want to connect with your ancestors. But it's also fantastic for digestive stuff. So I hope that this helps with digestion. And then for body discomfort, I'm feeling like celestite is going to be our buddy there. So let's go ahead and get some celestite. I can find our celestite. I know I have some. So let's do black obsidian. Such an incredible stone. It's volcanic glass. So it helps us to come to terms with very sudden change. And spoiler alert, that's definitely what the current astrology is suggesting. So yeah, that can be helpful for us right now. Celestite helps us to connect with our angelic guides. It helps with discerning the difference between our thoughts and our fears. Not that either one of those things is altogether a bad thing, but it helps us to make better decisions when we know where that input's coming from. And this is exceptional for physical discomfort and pain. So celestite. Let's put some with our beautiful amethyst here. Put some on top too. So celestite. Thank you, Jen. I hope you feel better, and it's wonderful as always to see you here. Good stuff. And Susan, intention, anxiety. Gotcha. Absolutely gotcha. Let's see. Definitely have some good ones for anxiety. The Lepidolite is helpful. Very helpful. We also have let's see. Let's go with some blue calcite. Why not? Intense astrology calls for intense stones. This one is excellent for anything having to do with feeling just overwhelmed emotionally and or anxiety. Lepidolite's an amazing stone for anxiety, as is Amazonite is an amazing stone for anxiety. This one can definitely help with overload of emotions that can lead to that, or paradoxically, when we have anxiety that leads into a feeling of overwhelm. So regardless of which direction those feelings are coming in, if it's internalized anxiety coming out as overwhelm, or if it's overwhelm leading to anxiety, blue calcite can be so incredibly helpful. This is, along with bloodstone, a great stone for just when you feel like you don't even know which end is up and you need some support. Actually, let's go ahead and put these here. Yeah. Yeah. That feels good. Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Let's see what's next. Varsha, thank you for being here. Intention is to heal from depression and anxiety. Absolutely. So this will help with that too, as will Lepidolite. There's a lot of stones that can be helpful with depression. Let's see. Aqua Aura is one that I work with a lot. I struggle with depression myself, so I'm really sorry you're struggling with that. I'm happy you're here. You're always welcome here. For however we can help, we're here. Aqua Aura is clear quartz that's been treated with to a process usually involving titanium, but not always, to help alter the stone. This isn't so much in a way it's a coating, but it's not like they just sort of like painted it on or anything. Aqua Aura is thought to be incredible for things like depression, helping us to, in a way, move that kind of energy through the body and allowing it to release. It gives us a way to express our feelings in a way that we normally struggle to even have. Just like it's a man-made take on a natural stone. And at first I was sort of like, I don't know how to feel about that. To be honest with you, I do feel a lot of difference when I do work with this stone. I find it really helpful for things like depression. It's one that I kind of keep around when I'm struggling with that. So I will include this in the grid. There's lots of anxiety help, but this one I think can be helpful for the depression side. I'm going to go ahead and let's see. We'll start there and we'll see how the grid continues to develop. But I think it looks good right there. Thank you for being here. Happy that you're here. You're always welcome. And let's see. All right, I want to make sure I'm not falling behind here. Healing energy for your nephew who had surgery for a blocked colon. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, absolutely. We'll get that. Honeycalcite, garnet, and fluorite. Way ahead of you with the garnet. Honeycalcite and fluorite, you got it. I was thinking fluorite earlier for calming. That one can be really helpful. It's also helpful for teeth. We've also got honeycalcite, helps with the balance between the sacral and the solar plexus. So boundaries in a very gentle and supportive way, but also boundaries. Who am I? What do I want? What are my wants and needs? Balanced with what are my responsibilities? Am I being over or under responsible? How do I relate to the people around me? Renegotiating all those things. Honeycalcite's really, really supportive. I find it to be one of the stones that if you're struggling with themes around codependency or anything close to it, honeycalcite can be wonderful. But here is fluorite, like I said, teeth and anxiety. Let's go ahead and put, and these are not cut into this shape. This is the shape it naturally comes in. We'll go ahead and put some here, here. And these other two just place right there and there. As well as your other request was honeycalcite. There we go. Okay. Want to make sure we get to everything. We leave enough room on the platter here. So let's see. Put some honeycalcite, this beautiful honey color. You can see why it's called honeycalcite. There we go. Put those right here. There we go. Okay, thank you, Jen. Yeah, this new moon in Leo has been beautiful. It's a great day for manifesting today. Being really clear with the universe what you need to keep moving forward. A lot of Reiki at home with a lot of meditation. Good stuff, Cora Carr. I love that all of you are just hanging out and chatting. So cool. Awesome. Yeah, shame has been a recurring concept in my day. I worked with a couple clients today where that was a big focus. Intention to remove procrastination. Janita Meta, absolutely. Oh yeah, the links may not work. You can put in half a link and then the other half in a separate post and then just kind of glue them together. Removing procrastination, absolutely. Definitely chrysoprase helps, and garnet is excellent for that. Definitely helpful. Also Polychrome Jasper. Polychrome Jasper helps empower and like get you kicking, get you up and ready and wanting to follow your soul's purpose. Totally emboldens that and awakens it and enlivens it, gives it a boost of energy. Absolutely love it, especially after a time of being sedentary. So obviously really great, you know, in this time of COVID where it's like hurry up and wait, sit, don't go out. Okay, now get all the things done. Polychrome Jasper can help with that. Polychrome Jasper comes in so many beautiful colors. Let's see what else. And thank you for being here. Welcome and come back anytime. Thank you for sharing that info, Cora Carr. Vincent, you have intentions for a lot of things that were already mentioned. Yeah, I noticed that the things that you've been requesting were coming up. A lot of us are really it always happens here where, first of all, for those of you who are new, one of the concepts behind the crystal grid here, and even the community aspect of all of us coming together for healing, there is something called Communal Chi. It's a concept that we see, the concept that I'm borrowing is from Chinese medicine, but we see it in a lot of things. It's in the Bible, it's everywhere. It's the concept of the more people come together with the same or similar intention, the greater that energy available to support that is magnified. So by all of us coming together with healing requests, the energy that can support all of our well-being today is magnified. We're putting that into a physically present manifestation, like a beautiful crystal grid. This is built around everyone's intentions shared here today. And I've definitely noticed as I've been learning more about astrology, because I'm really fairly new-ish to it. Although I've been doing energy work professionally for almost 14 years now. Astrology, I've known about it, but I've really been deepening my studies as of recent. So I've noticed so much since leading community distance Reiki for the past little over a year. We started on Zoom and just came here about 5.5 months ago. And I've noticed the themes. Like I used to see it I'd have clients that were making the same requests independently of each other. But now seeing everyone together over periods of time, we are all so working with those similar energies. And so we'll work with the same stones for a couple of weeks. The same requests will come up often from everybody for a couple of weeks, and then it'll shift into something else. And it's this ebb and flow, but we are most often struggling with similar themes. So yeah, it's just been beautiful. I've been able to learn so much, and I think we all have. But, oh, and a literary agent for Greg. Absolutely. So I know I was thinking about Herkimer earlier for Cora Carr's request, and I'm going to put this in here for Greg. Then we're going to move on into the next phase of our event. But Herkimer helps to connect us to not just manifesting, but manifesting the best divinely guided version of what we're asking for that keeps us on our soul's purpose. And so when we're asking for things like a literary agent or just anything that we're asking for, we're basically saying to the universe, the best version of this possible that's in alignment with my spiritual greatest good. It can be really helpful. It also helps with balancing energies, especially energies that are discordant, and can help metabolism. So for the requests on weight loss, this can also be helpful. So let's go ahead and add some of this. Let's put that here, and send Greg my best. And now we're going to move into that part of the time where I select a couple of contenders for our last stones in the session, and all of you will get to vote on those while I briefly explain what Reiki is to those who are new to the concept, and then we will move over into the sending and relaxing part of our time. So continue the chatting amongst yourselves. I love this group so much, and I will just pick out a couple of contenders to help us through today. So let's see. So here are our contenders. Let me know which you think is the best way to finish up this grid that supports you all. First is Petrified Wood, and this particular piece actually has some baby crystals developing within it. Petrified Wood helps us to make positive transitions in our life, including where it's almost like one version of ourselves has to come to an end in order for us to grow into the next version of ourselves. This used to be a living tree, and now it is a stone. That's a wild ride. It had to die as a tree to begin its transition into being a stone and to transcend into its next incarnation, to its next version of itself. And this particular specimen within it has these crystals of new life just beginning, even more newness coming out of it. So Petrified Wood is one, and the other is Flower Agate, sometimes called Japanese flower blossom agate. This one is, as you can see, like it looks like there's big blooms in there. That is indicative of what's thought to be just blooming our new version of ourself from within and bringing that manifestation out. So really powerful stone of blooming into exactly the person you want to be. And this particular specimen also has something unique. This is called a vug, V-U-G. When this stone, which is faceted, it's cut this way as a point, when it was forming in nature, this piece, there was some organic matter right there in what is now that hole. And over time, the stone persisted and remained, and the organic matter that it formed around eventually rotted away. And so in that, it becomes something rotted away, and so it's just sort of a void. But in that void, new things take root. And if you look, it's hard to see. I'll see if I can make it a little easier. Inside of this vug, pardon I'm working on not biting my nails, but inside that vug, there are some new crystals taking shape. Newness in that void, a new restart where other things kind of rotted and fell away, eventually just leaving this beautiful new version of itself. So flower agate with a vug, and petrified wood with some new spirit quartz crystals coming up right in there. Go ahead and cast your votes. I never know how this is going to go. Those of you who are new will learn the inside joke. Go ahead and vote if you haven't already. If you can, go ahead and like the stream. That really helps the algorithm to push me out there to more people. I super appreciate it. And I'm just going to take a moment to explain what Reiki is and a little bit of how it works before we get into the sending. So, as I mentioned at the top of the hour, I'm Danielle Stimpson, and I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia. I'm heading into my 14th year of professional Reiki teaching. And if you want to learn more about my online Reiki classes, my Discord, my social media, my crystal shop, and all that good stuff, it's in the description below. But the most important thing is, what on earth is Reiki? If you ask a few different people, you'll get a few different answers. And that's a good thing. Definitely is a good thing. The style of Reiki that I work with is known as Usui Reiki, known after the gentleman who created this particular method or style of working with an energy known as Reiki, or spiritually guided energy. Being that it's a Japanese practice in indigenous Japanese faith, which is Shintoism, it's rooted in Shintoism. Shintoism believes that everything has a soul. Me, you, animals, plants, and even the seemingly inanimate objects around us. From the things behind me to the things behind you to whatever you might be sitting on today, everything has soul. And as we are all our unique souls and energy manifestations, through those different souls and manifestations flow many different energies. One of those energies is the spiritually guided energy that supports us on all levels, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, karmically. This energy is already available within you. Your body's working with it right now. And essentially the practice of working with this energy involves my connecting to it and sending you more of it to support your greatest, highest good. Your body, mind, and spirit already know how to work with this energy, and they're doing it right now. But as you kind of get this abundance of it, your body will be able to work with this energy in a way that best supports your wellness right here in this moment. It may show up as physical manifestations in your body where you physically feel it. You may get some emotional releases or feelings. You may get some enlightenment about your mental processes, your thoughts, your beliefs, and if they're serving you or if they need to adjust or mature or anything. Connection to spirit, intuition, receptivity, all of the above, oftentimes several at the same time. You can set any and all intentions that you have for this greater good, and that helps inform the flow. And you can do it yourself now, even if you're watching this in the future. Hello from the past. You can go ahead and at any point during your session, just think of what your intentions might be and let it go to the universe. During your session, I invite you to simply relax and be and notice. I encourage you to close your eyes, sit or lie down in a way that is comfortable for you. You can, if you feel like you're going to fall asleep, awesome, go ahead and sleep. If you feel like your mind is very active, feel free to see what's there. We don't have to focus on anything during the session, and we don't have to keep a silent mind. We can just see what shows up. Sometimes what seems like mental chatter is intuition, and sometimes what seems like intuition is mental chatter. If you're not sure which it is, which is often, just take a deep breath in and out and see what sticks around. At the end of the 25-minute session, I will come back in. You'll hear my voice say, I invite you now to take a deep breath, start to come back to your body. And at that time, I will reopen the chat. You can feel free to go ahead and ask any questions you might have or share any experiences you had. If you're watching this in the future, you can use the comments or reach out to me through social media, and I'll do my best to answer any questions that you might have. At the end of the session today, this will get archived in our past healings. You can find any of our past healings. I always put the picture of the grid as part of the thumbnail. And in the description, if you give me a day or two, I type out the names of all the different crystals that were in that grid. So if you'd like to work with a crystal but can't figure out exactly how it's spelled or how I pronounced it, go ahead and take a peek in the description. For everyone who is here live, thank you so much for being here and making this grade everything that it is. I couldn't do it without you. And let's go ahead back into the chat and see what we are working with. Oh, and one last thing. As I turn up the music, you can find the name of the artist in the description. And as I turn down the lights, know that it will slowly move between several different colors, but at no point will it begin flashing or strobing. So you're good there. Okay, so let's see what won the vote. I never know how this is going to work. Okay. Ah, this looks so nice. Gotcha. Wow, Korakar voted for something that's not both. Color me shocked. But yeah, I think we're definitely getting both. Yeah, we got flower agate, petrified wood, both. Yeah, it's both. It's always both. So I'm gonna go ahead and put flower agate with a vug right here. And actually, let's put that here. Put our petrified wood right there. Yeah. Yup. Awesome. Okay. So everyone go ahead, get comfy. You can move around, shift, adjust, do whatever you need to do during this time. This is your time for you to make what it is to you. So if you feel like busting out a couple of stretches or journaling or just taking a nap, I'm so grateful to be of service. So we are going a little late today. Oopsie boopsie. Not a big deal. I love it. So so we're gonna go for 25 minutes. So right now, if you're here live with us, it is 10 to 5 on the East Coast, US. So we'll be going till about 15 after. So if anyone's gonna be late for anything, you know now. So go ahead, relax. You were shocked too, Susan? Oh, I'm so happy y'all are here. And as a reminder, I will be back today at 8 p.m. and Sunday at 8 p.m., always East Coast US time. Thank you again so much for being here. Enjoy your healing session, and I will see you all again in about 25 minutes. I invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly begin to move, stretch, or bend as needed, bringing our attention and awareness back to our body. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was an honor and an absolute pleasure to share this healing with all of you. And if you would like to come back to the chat and ask any questions or share any experience, I am here to help guide you and to thank you for your participation. If you're simply going to enjoy some extended rest and relax time, I'm here 5 times a week, including later today at 8 p.m. and Sunday at 8 p.m. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, you're so welcome, Vincent. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. This grid feels beautiful. I think I'm going to leave it up until the next stream just so I can enjoy it. Oh, great, Vincent. You finished writing something you were stuck on? Susan, thank you for sharing that. Amazing. There was a rumble in your head at the beginning, then a physical feeling of a snap of your head, but didn't actually happen, and then your head just cleared. Those snaps, they can happen a lot of different ways. I think I know what you're talking about. Like, it's not like a bone popping. It's more like an energy crack. That can absolutely show up in a lot of different ways. It really is an opening and a clearing. It's a clearing of energy, and it's your energy body expanding. When sometimes that happens to folks in the night, like when they're sleeping. And if it happens repeatedly, especially if it's like a loud crack and a flash of light, like at night, it's not like an external force. It's our own energy opening up. So sometimes it can be aligned with what's often referred to as a Kundalini awakening. If it's very intense and very visceral, you can work with some grounding to help with that. I'll do a video on that at some point. But yeah, that can just be, it absolutely makes sense to me. That's been, phenomena like that has been written about for thousands of years, but experiencing it is absolutely wild. Yeah, it absolutely is astounding. The concept is that the chakras are only one part of a very big story, and they start at the root and they go up to the crown. And at the base of the spine is a spiral of your individual energy called Kundalini, which translates from Sanskrit to like the curl on the lock of hair of the beloved. And basically I'll spare you the Hindu mythology because we could be here all day, maybe another time or another video, but our energy basically goes up the spine, like weaving in between, in and out of our chakras, and reaches the crown, and it's a moment of enlightenment. So basically, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, Shiva and Shakti in the Greek mythology, in a very small nutshell, they're kind of star-crossed. They're constantly working between the chakras, like passing each other, trying to reunite, and at the crown, boom, enlightenment. So yeah, so a lot of times that flow of energy can be aligned with like the loud crack, flashes of light, sudden movements, especially side to side like this, but like very, very fast. And with even like a spontaneous channeling can absolutely be aligned with that. Not as much pressure on your throat this time, luckily. I'm glad it wasn't uncomfortable this time. You felt that your head went to one side, but it didn't. It can almost feel like, yeah. Wow, thank you for sharing that, Susan. Yeah, sometimes when we release energy, it can feel like, almost like, whoa, I feel like I just moved. And sometimes we do physically move. I've absolutely had clients on the table, like it's almost like it's building and all of a sudden their leg kicks. And like big, to the point where it like might wake them up. Or any number of things. That can absolutely happen. That's so interesting. Thank you so much for sharing it. And it's usually like things like Kundalini awakening and things, they very seldom just spontaneously happen. That's incredibly rare. But there's spiritual practices of actually making that happen. And that's actually what Tantra is. I know I say Tantra, and we in the West, especially in the US, we hear that and we immediately start giggling about like books that we give people at like their bachelorette party. That's not what it's about. A lot of the practices of Tantra have nothing to do with sex. It has absolutely much more to do with moving energy. It's a spiritual practice of moving energy. So yeah, but you can have movements of energy that are in alignment with that, like a big release that isn't necessarily a full like Kundalini awakening kind of thing, and it can feel like a sudden burst of energy, or even like your arm or leg or something really moves, or it feels like it does, or you start like making a sound and you're not sure where it's coming from. AM, awesome. Your arm kicked twice. Yeah, that's not unusual. Well, it's not typical, but it's not unusual. Yeah, it's arms, legs. I get that a lot too. I mean, I also have neurospasticity, so some of it's that. But every once in a while, I'll be sitting still and doing Reiki, and all of a sudden I'll feel this shift within me, and part of me might jump or move, or my awareness might jump or move, or yeah, it can be intense. And that's also too when we're moving energy through our body in the Japanese understanding, because Usui did not work with chakras. He was from Japan. Their energy system had a lot more overlap and similarity than difference, but there's definitely distinct differences. But in Japan, they feel like energy, for the most part, when it leaves the body, like the energy we no longer need or is no longer in our highest good, that it leaves through the feet. But also the meridians, like a lot of them terminate in the hands. So our arms and legs a lot of times can be much bigger energy channels than we think about if we're just looking at the chakras. The meridians, like I said, they start like just beneath most of them start just beneath the navel. They surface at different areas, but yeah, they can make your arm sort of kick out or your leg pick up and kick too. Sometimes it's like I've been meditating or something, and then I realize my eyes have rolled back in my head with my eyes closed. Things like that too can happen. Yeah, a lot of that can be just the energy moving, that we're experiencing it in the body, and it can be wild sensations. But definitely too, I would say write it down anywhere that you keep important information that you'll refer back to, like a journal or like a notes function on your phone, or save it in your email, whatever is your preference. And keep an eye over the next couple weeks if you get any sudden guidance, intuition, anything like that, especially if it happens more than once. You might be a little bit more attuned to intuition. But reflect back to what you experienced today, and sometimes looking back on something gives us more information, like the concept of hindsight is 20/20. when we write something down that we experienced and then we look back on it, we give our future selves that gift of hindsight. So looking at it in context of today, you might get some insight. Looking at it in context that you have in a week, 3 weeks, couple months, might give you even more insight. Yeah. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome in, AM. And thank you, Susan. Oh, thank you everyone so much. Fantastic. And of course, I'm always looking for topics for new videos. I'm still learning how to use the video editor. I'm way better live as a teacher, but I'm definitely getting better at the video editor. So I'm gonna aim for a weekly video as soon as I can kind of make that happen. So if you have requests for a subject or topic or a question, I might be able to make that into a video, either something small like a short or a big full video. So let me know either here or in the comments or what have you. I'm super happy to do that. But thank you all so much. I'm going to go ahead. Oh yeah, you're super welcome for the explanation. Let me know how it turns out, and if you have any questions, I'm here. But yeah, best for you. And if you're interested in like the spiritual understanding of Tantra and like what it really means in context, I can recommend a book here. The Serpent Power by Arthur Avalon, Sir John Woodruff. It's very old. I have a huge collection of ancient wisdom books behind me, and I'm very blessed for those. There's also a book on Tantra by George Feuerstein, who some of you might be familiar with if you've done a lot of reading about yoga. His reading can be a bit dry, but really well researched and good. So either one. These are about like Tantra in the classic sense. There may be better books on the subject. These are just the ones I'm familiar with. But yeah, just beautiful, beautiful stuff. This one you might have better luck finding it on a used book website, which I totally, this is referring to Kundalini, that curl of energy at the base of the spine. That's usually seen as a snake, like a good snake. Snakes are usually about transformation because they shed their skin. That's often why we see spirals associated with healing, like one of the reasons, hence the spiral here on our grid. Yeah. So I would say books like this, you might find an easier time finding them on used book sites like bookfinder.com. A lot of times people, no matter what, it basically aggregates all the used book websites and makes them all searchable by price, location, including shipping. And that can make it a lot easier to find obscure books that might be out of print. And that's sort of exactly what I'm looking for most of the time. But thank you all so incredibly much. I am working on a recommended reading guide that will be free and available to all of you very soon. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream here, and immense gratitude for all of you. Those of you who are new, thank you for coming in. I hope to see you again soon. Those who are returning, thank you so much for the ongoing support. Those of you watching the replay, awesome, awesome, awesome to be of service to you as well. I will see you all again tonight at 8 p.m., Sunday at 8 p.m., Wednesdays at 4 p.m., Thursdays at 8 a.m., and as we started today at 4 p.m. on a Friday. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.